Hi Jim, I thought I'd do a video for you to help you out with your gauntlet run. Now over the last 72 hours we've had quite severe storms, over 100 mph winds, and I've just come into my camp here. The rain's just slightly went off at the moment, but you can see it was actually pouring down in the walk-in. And look at this, this is my camp here. There's my bench seat. And there you go, that's about an 80-foot tree right through the middle of the camp. That could have been severe. And we've had about another 5 or 6 trees come down. Here's one here. There's 1, 2 trees away in the background there. So it just shows you the kind of weather that we're dealing with. Right, there's a wee break in the weather at the moment, still quite windy, wee spit of rain. Okay, so hopefully you see something in this that's actually going to help you out, mate, with your gauntlet run when it comes to the wood processing. Right Jim, when it comes to selecting the size of wood, what you want to do is go from your elbow to your fingertip, and there you go, that's roughly about it. It's just slightly short because there's a knot here and there's a big knot there, but that's the ideal size you're looking for, and that's what I would use. There we go, first piece done. That's the kind of size we're looking for, and try and get as knot free as possible. But out here, the types of wood we've got, it's Sitka spruce, and there's loads of knots in it all the way round it, and it's very fibrous as well, and it's quite hard to batten through. Okay, so from the fingertips to the crook of the elbow in length is the size you're looking for. Right Jim, in your video you cut a branch roughly about that thick, I would say. I think it was the gauntlet number 5 challenge. It was a log that you got off the riverbed and you were chopping through it. Well, I'll show you a preferred method I use to try and preserve your edge. The method I like to use is the double 45. So you'll hold the branch at 45 degrees and you'll come in and cut at 45 degrees with a hard hit. Okay, so like this. There's the first cut in at 45 degrees. Then what we do for there, rotate it round to the exact opposite side and come in, hold it at 45 degrees there and give a hard hit like that. You can see here the two of them are almost meeting up the cuts. Okay, so just like yours, it didn't go through. So what you can do then from there is turn it to the side and do the exact same, but just on either side. 1 and 2. Now this is really hard, you can tell by the sound of it. Right, so what you do for there then, just like yours, in the jungle you've got really dense woods, really difficult to get through, but it's provided really some deep cuts there. And all I do from here, hit the breaks or the cuts on a tree, on that. There we go, and look at the depths of the cuts. Right, and the reason I'm telling you that is because in your video you're doing this chop all the way around, and all you're doing is wasting your edge. So why don't you give that method a try the next time you do a 1-stick fire. Right Jim, you can see this is just covering it and no more on the cutting edge. Okay, but the problem with this log is here it's got low knots here, all the way around, so it's going to be very difficult to split. Okay, right, so let's see how we got on with this, splitting it. The knots are holding this together. Yep, there we go. Right, let's split it again. Very fibrous, this stuff. Batten snapped. There we go. Right, I've got it down into the quarters, Jim, but because of the nature of this wood and the amount of knots in it, you'll be lucky if it'll split into eighths, but I'll give it a try. Hatchet technique, remember that one. A couple of big knots in this. This is where we use the swedge. There we go. Split it. Split it again. There, and just keep breaking it down until you get as fine as you want. Keep doing that, Jim, keep breaking it down until you've got a manageable size. And this is a good size now for doing your feathers or making your pot stand. And that's what I was talking about, from the fingertip to the crook of the elbow. Now what you're going to do is get three, say approximately 1 inch to 2 inches in width, 3 sticks, and sharpen off the ends of them. Just like that. Right, so that's your 3 sticks sharpened off for your pot stand. Okay, and also to produce a structure for the small kindling to lean against when we come to lighting this. So make yourself 3 of these. The next thing I like to do is cockerel feather sticks. Very similar to Siberian, but you're left with a small shaft on the feathers, and I'll show you how I go about doing that. Right, so just get it against your knee and use the draw section or the recurve section, it's up to yourself, and just pull the feather, or the stick should I say, towards you. Just like this. Now I'm hoping this is in frame. Now these feathers, they can be quite large. That's kind of what I aim for. So you get it like that. And then once you've got it like that, what you want to do is split it along here, like this. So, and lift up, there we go. And you can see it's left you with a small shaft here. And it just looks like a cockerel's tail. Okay, so you want a hat full of these. Do it once more for you. So up here, pull along. Just taking your time till you get used to it. So this is a bit larger than your woodsman, so slightly harder to control. So hopefully this should be not too bother for you when you come to doing it with the woodsman. Right, I'm happy with the feathers. All I do for there then is just lift it up and snap off there, and you can see the small shaft of wood here, and that's what we want. So make yourself a hat full of these. Right, get your woodsman, stick it in the tree, make sure it's in secure, like that. Use 2 hands, whatever's convenient for you, but you'll get a feel for it. I'm using the draw section here. So what we're looking for, this is a fast way you're getting your shavings all together. And just find a spot that's convenient for you and at the right height and catches the grain of the wood properly. You can see it does it fairly quick, so you should get a hatful of shavings really fast with this. Right, so it wouldn't take you long to get a hatful of shavings using that method. You've got your eights battened down as small as you want. I've got them down to thumb thickness now, but what I need to do then is split them down into pencil thickness next. Okay, and I'll show you how I go about doing that using the swedge. I'll just tip it forward, and go, wiggle from side to side. There, get it like that, split it again, tip in, tip facing away from you. Okay, till we get it to roughly this size. Put that on your mat. Here's the rain coming on even harder. Right, tip forward. There we go. Like that. Now I would say you want about 20 of these for your fire. There's another big knot there. Roughly about a pencil width is what we're looking for. And you want about as much as that for your fire to get it started. The wood all broken down and processed into each individual pile. So starting off with this one here, it's just a hatful of shavings, and that's the piece of bark I took off the log that we cut earlier. Right, and a hatful of cockerel feathers, the ones with the sticks on it, and then the pencil lead size that we split down, maybe about 20 of them. And then there's our 3 sharpened stake pegs to use as a frame and a cooking stand. Then we go up to our thumb size, and then the last of it is just our fuel. First of all, Jim, get your 3 stakes, stake them out. Them in position where you want them, like so. Next thing, get your piece of bark and put all your shavings on it. Place it in the middle. Like that. Then what we want to do is bring these in a bit. Then what we do is we get our cockerel feathers and stick them up here. Got some there, and then just the last couple, just throw them in anywhere. You can see that tripods gave you a frame to build everything on. Okay, There we go. Another thing it does when it comes to using your pencil lead size, it gives it a frame that can be supported upon. So take a couple of them, just lean it against it. Because in your video you were throwing a couple of these on just on top of the pile. Okay, so I just like to do a couple like that, especially against the frames. And if you make them long enough, it'll catch onto the cockerel feathers depending on how many that you've actually made. There we go. Got the feathers in. Right, the next thing we want to do then is light it, and you can see there's gaps either side that you can get in with your fire steel and scrape and get them lit. Okay then, let's get it lit, let's see how we get on. Oh, you lit? Oh, aye. There we go. That's it lit. That took a bit. Look at my fire steel, it's just all ridges. I'll need to get that smoothed off. Right, the wind's blowing from behind the camera. So I'll move a couple of these across. Right Jim, that's it away. Okay, and the whole idea of the cockerel feathers, that they'll catch fire and collapse into the centre, or it gives you a bit of support for your thumb thickness. Full size. And what you see then is, because it's got a frame now, you can actually start building the TP structure round about it. Slowly, not too much. And this wood's quite wet, believe it or not. But there you go, there's a TP fire now, because you put a tripod stand in it. And that is very hot straight away. And you can see, Jim, that you've got a TP fire now, because you put that tripod stand in with the cockerel feathers on top. Okay, and there's some heat over that already. Don't get me wrong, the wind picked up again, brought it on really quick, but the wood is wet. Right Jim, so there you go, there's a swedge, and basically done most of that kindling. Right, hopefully that's helped you out, pal, and I'll catch you in the future. All the best with your gauntlet run. You're doing fantastic. Keep up the good work.